But what about Hunter Biden getting $500,000 per painting, and he never painted before? Could you imagine if my kids did that? Could you imagine? And now they're justifying it. Well, we want to make it non-transparent. No, actually, you should make it transparent, I guess. But actually, you shouldn't make it at all because it's a bribe. It's a bribe, 100% bribe. You know, you have good painters for $250. You can. Incredible. They're geniuses. They're just geniuses. You go to Central Park and they have all these artists lined up. You negotiate a deal. They'll do it for $250. They're unbelievably talented. Some of them are beyond belief what they can do in a short period of time. Hunter Biden's getting $500,000. It's a bribe. It's disgraceful. And the fake news media is talking about it like it's okay. But we should have transparency. It's unbelievable. And if the Democrats get some of the things they currently want passed, including the Election of Corrupt Politicians Act, and infrastructure, which isn't infrastructure, it will get even worse. What they're asking for is incredible. The Green New Deal, going to destroy our country, this Green New Deal. It's Green New bullshit, okay? That's what it is. It's bullshit. No more windows in buildings because environment. You know, I always did great with these buildings. The bigger the window, the better I did. The bigger those windows. I wanted floor-to-ceiling windows. But they say you can't do that anymore. We don't want any more windows. It's going to be real hard to sell apartments, I think. We have a beautiful apartment, and for environmental reasons, we have not put windows in the building. Oh, great. Well, that sounds good. These people are crazy. Whatever happened to cows? Remember, they were going to get rid of all the cows? They stopped that. People didn't like that. Remember? You know why they were going to get rid of all the cows. People will be next. People will be next. Sadly, even in many red states, the rhinos are letting the radical left have their way on everything. You know that. In fact, I have to say this. In many cases, these weak Republicans or rhinos, these weak Republicans are worse. They're worse than Democrats. And you have a couple of examples right here in Arizona. And don't nod and don't say it because I don't want to get you in trouble. Maybe you can convince them to do what's right. But you have a couple of them right here in Arizona, and nobody knows. And I'll tell you what, they're going to be defeated. As sure as you're sitting there, they're going to be defeated in the primaries by real Republicans. And it's not so far. Just like they don't want to talk about Afghanistan or Hunter Biden's corruption. That's the other thing that came out today. You see that? They delayed the Hunter Biden corruption because they didn't want it to hurt Joe Biden's chances of election. And look what happened with Joe Biden as your president. Our country has gone to hell. Thank you. And I love you too. You're incredible people. You're incredible people. And they're trying to take our country away, and they're trying to steal our country, and they're going to ruin our country. And once it's destroyed, remember I used to say, we will not become Venezuela? This is what's happening. Now, this is what's happening. You take a look at Venezuela. They can't get water. They can't get anything. They're living in hell. We will not be a socialist country. How many times have I said it? This will not be Venezuela. This is going to be Venezuela very soon if they keep going the way they're going. And this is all done in a period of less than 9 months. Think of it. This destruction of our border, all of the destruction, our military in retreat. We've never had a military retreated before. I mean, why would you leave $83 or $85 billion worth of equipment? Why would you leave brand new Black Hawk helicopters the greatest machine. Why would you leave millions and millions? Why, as an example, there was no reason. We had it so under control. We were getting the hell out of there. But everybody would have come out. We would have then taken the equipment. I even gave an expression. I want every screw, every bolt, every nail. I want the tents that the equipment is having. I want everything. Millie said to me one time, I'll never forget it, "Sir, it's more expensive. It's more expensive, sir, to take the equipment than to leave it." I said, "Really? You mean you have a $10 million tank? You put it on a plane and that's more expensive than leaving it?" He said, "It's more expensive." And I never forgot that statement because that's probably the first time I realized that he was stupid. But you know what I did say? I said, so we have brand new aircraft just out of the factory and it's sitting on the runways and our soldiers are fleeing and surrendering to guys with knives, good fighters, by the way, but guys with knives that I got along with very well. They understood they're not going to screw around. I almost used the F word. And you know, it would have been more effective if I did, but they would have. He used a horrible word, so I didn't do it. Remember, I didn't do it. It would have been so much more effective if I used the word. Maybe later on. But with Millie and with all these people, they flee. I said, why wouldn't you have brought in 200 pilots? 200, we have the best pilots in the world. We have the best soldiers in the world. We have the best military in the world. I rebuilt the military. Space Force, don't forget Space Force. I rebuilt. So why wouldn't you bring over real fast? First of all, you shouldn't have left anything behind. So I don't even like this idea. But assuming they really wanted to leave it behind because they're stupid, why wouldn't you bring over 200 pilots? Just take the planes and fly them to Pakistan, and then you bring them over, or fly them to some other country of which we give them all so much money that they all treat us well, okay? You know, we get ripped off by everybody.